through the Senate, but there's also President Trump's top civil rights official who's pressing what she calls a radical agenda at the Department of Justice, redefining what civil rights should mean in the modern era, and really placing a big city Democratic mayor under investigation. Harmeet Dillon sat down exclusively with Newsmax chief Washington correspondent James Rosen to discuss all that and more.
As Assistant Attorney General for DOJ's Civil Rights Division, Harmeet Dillon, formerly one of America's best-known conservative legal activists, told Newsmax in an exclusive sit-down interview in the ornate library at Main Justice that she is taking a very different approach to enforcement of the nation's civil rights laws than all of her predecessors did.
Thanks for having me.
When Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson boasted to a Pentecostal church audience last Sunday about all the jobs at City Hall he has filled with black hires.
Department of Planning and Development is a black woman. Infrastructure Deputy Mayor is a black woman.
He received a two-page letter from General Dillon the next day announcing the city is under investigation to determine whether it has engaged in a pattern or practice of racial discrimination.
It's not the 1960s. It isn't the fresh days of the civil rights movement. And in 2025, the mayor of Chicago is proudly proclaiming name after name or job description after job description of African Americans who he has hired. And then also made some remarks about how they do a better job, or, you know, he's trying to help them build their businesses, and basically giving this rent seeking for a particular race because he's from that background, or because that's what is politically demanded in his city, and that's illegal.
It looks to some folks like the administration is targeting a political enemy, whereas the comments from Mayor Johnson in front of a black audience might appear like ordinary municipal politicking, where you show up at B'nai B'rith and talk about how you have these Jews working for you, and you show up at the Sons of Italy and you tell them how many Italians you've hired. Why isn't it simple, ordinary politicking for him to say this?
Yeah, I mean, you might call it ordinary pandering of a, you know, retail politician, but the city of Chicago actually has a long and lurid history of rent seeking and favoritism and nepotism and all other kinds of discrimination, and specifically racial discrimination.
In her letter, Dillon told Mayor Johnson that her office has not reached any conclusions about the subject matter of the investigation. But in our interview, it appeared she had.
In this case, you have the mayor, I don't know, it's a kind of an open and shut case really, but of course we're doing an investigation to see how wide-ranging and how far back it goes.
General, thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
I like saying thank you too, because who wants to go for a job interview and worry that you're not going to get the job because you're the wrong color?
Yeah, this is 2020-25. Thank you, James Rosen, for that report. As we